Have faith, believe in your source. Have faith.
Welcome to Artists, Icons, and Entrepreneurs, the podcast that dives deep into the stories of trailblazers who shape our world. Our co-host Lulu Benavides is a seasoned entrepreneur in the beauty industry, is a photographer, artist, and the proud owner of Lulu's The Salon in Galveston, Texas. Our other co-host, Sue Krokonis Hansen, is a visionary in the entrepreneurial world with years of experience in business innovation and development. Together, they bring you insights, inspiration, and the journeys of remarkable individuals who have made their mark. And with that, let's get started. Sam Villa is revolutionizing the hair industry, one stylist at a time. As a globally recognized educator, mentor, and innovator, he has dedicated his career to elevating the craft of hairstyling through education and inspiration. A NAHA Lifetime Achievement Award winner and a 2021 NAHA Educator of the Year, Sam is known for doing things differently, challenging, motivating, and empowering stylists to push their boundaries. His impact extends far beyond the stage, whether teaching in salons, leading hands-on workshops, or engaging with his millions of social media followers. Sam's approach is all about sharing knowledge to help stylists grow. He believes that education is the key to success and encourages hair professionals to master the fundamentals, then innovate to create modern wearable styles. A master of cutting and finishing, Sam is constantly exploring new ways to enhance creativity and efficiency behind the chair. He popularized using flat irons for texturizing, introduced disconnection techniques for versatile styles, and designs ergonomic tools to improve stylist performance. His award-winning Sam Villa brand offers cutting-edge education and high-performance tools, including shears, razors, brushes, and thermal styling tools, designed for both professionals and consumers. Sam's dedication to the industry has earned him accolades like the 2020 International Hair Influencer of the Year, Hair Awards USA Hall of Fame inductee, and Inked Icon Leadership Award. Through his mentorship, he continues to shape the future of hairstyling by inspiring the next generation of professionals. Today, we're honored to have him on the podcast to share his journey, insights, and the game-changing techniques that have made him a legend in the industry. Please welcome Sam Villa.
Welcome to Artists, Icons, and Entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Lulu Benavides, and my co-host, Sue Krokonis Hansen. And today, our guest is an industry legend, Sam Villa, co-founder and chief creative officer of Sam Villa and global artistic ambassador for Redken. Sam has been a game changer in the beauty world, educator, innovator, and motivator, transforming the lives of stylists around the globe. From being named NAHA Educator of the Year and launching his line of tools used by pros and clients alike, Sam continues to inspire us and elevate our industry every single day. Whether he's teaching on stage, in the salon, or virtually to millions, Sam leads with generosity, creativity, and his heart. Today, we're diving into his journey, mindset, and mission to shape the future of the beauty, one stylist at a time. Let's get into it.
Sam, I've been following you for years, and we formally haven't been introduced, but I did meet you years and years and years ago when I was with my good friends, Johnny and Carolyn Plant.
Yes.
And I was trying to think when it was, and I think it was like maybe in 2000. I think you were at the Chicago show, and Johnny and Carolyn said, "Oh, we've got to go see Sam." And I was standing in the back of the room and I went, "Wow, who is this guy? He's fabulous." So it's so great to have you on the show. And it's just wonderful to look at your body of work and everything you've done. But we like to really put the spotlight on the person, not just their accomplishments and what they've done. So can you just get us rolling by telling us a little bit like how long you've been in the industry, where you're originally from, and how do you go from making yourself, like all of us, beauty school, hair business, to being a international icon? I mean, like, how did you have that vision from the beginning, or did that just become part of the journey?
Well, that's a loaded question. Let me rewind. When you asked me how many years I've been in the industry, I had to go back and I had to look and find my, I never look at it. I have it on the wall. And that's my beauty college graduation certificate. And I looked at it, I said, wow, 1976. So I had to add up the years, adding them up, and I'm going, oh my gosh, that's 49 years. But it doesn't seem like 49 years. That's what's
Exactly.
amazing. But my journey began was, I dropped out of college. I was playing volleyball, PE major,
Yeah.
dropped out of college my junior year and told my mom and dad one weekend I wanted to go to beauty school. My dad was clapping underneath the table. My mom was like, what? And because I grew up in my dad's barbershop. I swept the hair.
Cool.
I didn't like it. I shined the shoes.
Yeah.
I got 25 cents a shine. I didn't like it because I saw
Yeah.
my dad stand up all day. Sometimes I was so busy, Lulu, Sue, I could not get to sweep up
Yeah.
the hair. And I was
Yeah.
busy. So I'd watch him stand in hair like this with
Yeah.
his going his ankles. I thought, I'm never going to do that. But I'm originally from Carlsbad, New Mexico. And then my dad picked up the family in the end of sixth grade. He moved us to California. And we
Okay.
moved to Watsonville, California. We lived with some relatives for a while my dad got his barber license in California. He wanted to be a master barber stylist.
Mhm.
And then we moved to Santa Cruz, California. Pretty much where I grew up is in Santa Cruz.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where I started playing volleyball a lot on the beach. And then I went to college, dropped out, went to a beauty school in San Mateo, California, which was about an hour and a half from Santa Cruz.
Mhm.
And there's a man that I was so fortunate to connect with. He owned the school with his brother, and his name was Peter Hans. You may know the name, but it was way back, rod transfer perms. And I was so fortunate to have him as a teacher, but as a leader.
Yeah.
And I got to work by him side by side in some of his photo sessions and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I remember, when I was in school, probably about 3 months into school, and I'll never forget my beauty school teacher said, kind of went like this to me, Sam, I need to speak to you. I went over to her and I said, yes, Miss Uta. She said, Sam, I need you to go over to your client. You can see she's underneath the dryer. The rollers are falling out. I need you to go over there, lift the hood, apologize to her, put those rollers, and I want you to really put them in there tight so they don't fall out. I said, yes, ma'am. And I walked away. And as I walked away, she said, and you might want to think about doing something else.
Wow.
And here I am today where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's a great story because
Yeah.
she was speaking to an athlete. And when you spoke to me, when you told me I couldn't do something, I had to prove to people I could do it. And
Yeah.
so funny, that weekend, my dad called me and said, what are you doing this week? I said, Dad, I don't have any money. I can't do anything. He
Yeah.
said, well, I'm going to pick you up on Sunday morning early. We're going to go to a hair show. I said, what's that? He goes, that's something where you need to really know about because education is the most important thing. You need to go to hair shows and always learn.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick you up early 7. I go, well, what time's it start? He says 10. I go, why are we going so early? Because we're going to get in line and get
Yeah.
a good seat.
Yeah.
So when he picked me up, I said, who are we going to see? Now, I'll remind you, this was 1976. And he said, we're going to go see Vidal Sassoon. I go, Dad, that's the name that everybody talks about in school.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, we got tickets. My dad was smart. He got me there early. I sat in the middle row, the second row in the middle, and I watched this for 3 hours. Vidal, Roger Thompson,
Yeah.
Alan Pitzel Bush had some great names. I saw
Yeah.
them just take these Asian women and just melt his hair in
Yeah.
these beautiful shapes. And I was on the edge of my seat. My dad pulled me back. I said, sit back. I said, Dad, I want to do that.
Yeah.
He goes, what do you want? I said, I want to be up there someday and do that. He goes, eyes here, son. That's all ego and no money. If you choose
Yeah.
to do that, I want you to do it for them, for the sake of growing people and helping them get what they want. Because if you can help them get what they want, you'll get what you need. So do it, stay humble, but prove to me you can make some money doing that.
Yeah.
So that's
Wow.
basically where I started my journey, knowing that I wanted to be a teacher of some sort or be a platform artist. So I went back to school 3 months later. Now I'm in school 6 months. My teacher comes in. She goes, what's gotten into you? You can cut straight lines. You're doing really good. Oh, I went to a hair show. I'm going to be a platform artist someday. She just kind of looked at me, rolled her eyes, and walked away.
Yeah.
Now let's fast forward. What was it? About maybe 15 years later, I come back in San Francisco Bay Area, and I'm doing a show for Redkit. Who's sitting in the first row, in the front? My beauty school
Yeah.
teacher.
Isn't that
And
great?
she was there, and she said, I want to talk to you afterwards. I said, oh, no. But I was pretty nervous. But afterwards,
Yeah.
I started talking to her. She puts her hand in front of my face. She said, Sam, please. She goes, I'm here to apologize to you and tell you how proud I am of you and what you are doing for the industry. And I'm just here to support you and tell you that I apologize and I want you to keep doing what you're doing. Someday you're going to be great.
That's awesome.
It started there, and I just took off from that point.
Yeah.
I knew what I
Yeah.
wanted to do.
Yeah.
Wow. Sam, you have done it all. I remember back, here, I think it was 1990. I was a finalist for Naha Hair Color.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been following you. But anyway, there was a photograph, and I think it was a Spanish photograph. I mean, a Spanish magazine. Viva Vibra? Vibra? I think that's the name of it. Joan was the publisher of it.
Joan Harrison.
Yes. And so there's a picture of you and your models, and there's a picture not of me, but just of my models. So I don't know what happened to the picture of me, but it has my resume.
That's so
So
funny.
So obviously, Joan did not think I was cute enough to have my picture, my PR picture. Anyway, and then the next time I saw you, well, I see you all the time, but the next time I saw you was during the pandemic. You did a class with, I don't know if it was Anthony Mascola.
Yeah.
What I did was I said the show must go on because we were getting ready to do the America's Beauty Show, ABS, and they canceled it. And my team would said, well, I guess we're not going to ABS. I go, no, the show must go on, which was created by my creative director at the time, education director at the time, Andrew Carruthers. And he said, Sam, let's call it the show must go on. Because I told him, I said, we need to still do it. He goes, well, how are we going to do it? I said, we're going to go digital. We're going to go live. And we'll do it. Reached out to all my colleagues and I said, I'm going to do this. I'm asking you if you want to contribute to this and, you know, and do this with me. I reached out to huge names and everybody I contacted, Lulu Sue, said, yes, Sam would love to.
Of course. Of course.
And it was basically an educational event that was promoting education and talking about the industry and how we keep going and we keep learning, even though we're at this point in our lives where this pandemic is going on.
You know, and you are known for your creative photo shoots, and you're a respected educator. And then in 2021, you were named Educator of the Year by NAHA. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, Lulu, Sue, my commitment is to learning and my commitment is to education. You know, I'm going to be really honest here. I'm not a great hairdresser. I'm a good hairdresser, but I'm not one of the greatest. I'm not great, but I'm a good hairdresser, but I really believe I'm a great educator. I really have focused on that. And I, you know, when I was growing up and I remember being in the salon, the salespeople knew if they walked in the salon, the first person that was going to buy a ticket was Sam. Because I went to everything, like my dad said, you know, go to education. And he was right. Because I learned attended every class, every show, every business seminar I could, and I kept journals. And I adopted a mindset that I always wanted to learn because I felt that it was something valuable and I would get something out of every learning experience. I mean, education is so valuable, important, essential in this industry. And I want your community out there to listen to what I have to say because it's why I am where I am today. It's the backbone of the industry. It's the backbone of me. And I feel what's made me. I joined Redken in 1996. I was working with another company way back called Hayashi, which was a liquid line. We were very out of California. We were popular in Europe and somewhat popular around the U.S. But that was a turning point for me, you know, was I learned a lot of theatrical type shows. So I learned the theatrical side, the avant-garde side. But it got a little bit out of hand and I decided, you know what, I want to focus on education. So I got a phone call from Redken saying, hey, we're going to put together this new team. Would you be interested in joining? And if there's one thing my dad always said, he said, if there's any brand you want to join, it's Redken, because he was about Redken for men at the time in his barbershop. Joining Redken in 1996 was a big turning point in my career because I really believe that Redken has made me the educator I am today. They have made me the person I am today because they gave me the resources to be a teacher. I thought I was a teacher, but it was about being more focused on the learner. So Redken provided that for me. They made me a true facilitator. They made me a true educator, but I stuck to who I am. You know, and that led to me becoming an artistic director today, the global artistic director, the artistic ambassador. But I'm not a rock star. I'm not a genius. I'm not an inventor. I'm not a visionary. I choose to be a hairdresser. I'm a hairdresser that chooses to be a teacher. And I'm very proud of that. And I created my own line of tools in 2006. And I focused on developing ergonomic tools. That was something that was important to me. One thing just naturally led to the other. But, you know, my commitment is learning and my commitment is education.
Do you know what I think of just sitting here listening? Because I didn't know these things, Sam. Your athletic background as an athlete has led you to become a player's coach in the beauty industry. That's what you are. You're a player's coach. That is so cool. And the discipline that education is about discipline, knowing the material inside and out, being able to handle any situation, the player's coach.
A lot of people ask me, Sue, they say, Sam, do you still get nervous anytime you're doing a show? You bet I do. You know, I'm shaking. It's only natural.
Yeah.
You know, it means that I care.
Yeah.
And the day comes when I'm not nervous, then it's time for me to do something else because I'm taking this for granted. But, you know, the whole idea of this is that I really feel, you know, that you have to commit to something. My friends out there, you know, whatever it is you choose to do in this industry, whatever path you choose to walk, you commit, but you commit with intent and purpose. Well, I did. I really have done that, you know. I think that these awards that you get, and I want people think awards. But what they do, I want you to get this, is that they confirm that what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're sharing, you're doing the right thing. Right. So don't let awards go to your head. Don't, you know, let that happen. Awards are a great means of practicing. Awards are a way of testing, improving. I think that, you know, I support NAHA 100%. They should enter all the awards. I think, you know, Redken is legendary in what they've done, and what the roles that you have are just.
Sam, I wanted to ask you this question because, you know, everything is about a process. And of course, you know, your tools are, you know, I mean, who doesn't know about your tools and the brilliance of them? But I'm curious, did the education come first and then you saw the need for the tools, or did you invent the tools and then do the education? You know, what was the process of developing your tool?
I think the education side and the tool side, they were closely intertwined. They kind of happened. Education, I knew I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But at a point in my career where I was watching Redken, and after being there, I think I've been there a long time. I've lost count. But for 20 years, I remember watching a lot of Redken artists kind of would fall off. And it's just because people would say, well, they're old. They've gotten old. So I've really focused on rebranding myself. And I got a great comment from really executive from Salon Centric that said, you know, every time I see Sam, it seems like he's reinventing himself. And finding different ways that I could do things I already know. So focus on education was first. And then what it led to was the creation of the tool line, because it was inspired by my teaching experience that I was going to have issues with my hands. Because Beauty Show, and this was way back when I came out with the tools. And I created this people call it crimping iron, okay? And I'll never forget in my travels, it was probably 1981, I went to Stockholm, Sweden, for Hayashi. And what I was doing there was I was going through salons and just watching how they worked. Canadian hair is very fine.
Right.
And I watched this man take a very small iron, and he was crimping the base of a client's hair, and then he put it in rollers. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. So I went over to him, I said, sir, what was that? He goes, I had my machinist, one of my guys, make this iron for me. I go, well, what is it? He goes, it's a crimping iron. But he had made it really narrow to each other. I go, why? He goes, well, our hair is very fine. The women want volume, and we can't get volume. So when I crimp the base, it makes the base stand up. So I made a note of that in my journal. Starter Tools, one of the first tools I came out that was very unique, that nobody, like a flat iron. I'll never forget Dwight Miller, the Sam Via booth at the end of ABS. He said, Sam, I've been walking this show floor for 3 days. He goes, I got to tell you, the one thing that's woken this show up is your iron that you come. That's going to help people get volume. I go, the texture iron, because you alter the texture of the hair.
Yeah.
So the tools were really a major part. You know, the way I was teaching, what I was teaching, what I was doing became a major reason for the tools and why I produced those tools.
Right.
I found not only that, but the blow dryer. I wanted a blow dryer that was lightweight. You know, the blow dryer I have, my first blow dryer laid, just over a pound. People were freaking out when they would pick it up. And then I'd throw it and drop it, and I'd say, it won't break, you know, blah, blah, blah. But that was really one of the times when the tools were a major part of it, but they were inspired by my teaching experiences, and they were inspired by the needs that I felt that were needed, but they complemented the teaching techniques. I made that really clear that I wanted these tools to complement either the ergonomic side or the teaching side.
You know, I have that iron. And I also have the old irons with the crimping that's really large. But I use them all, what you're doing.
Well, like I tell people, the wide one, you still need it. But I said, but the narrow one has a specific reason.
Perfect.
With Sam, you're known for your incredible creativity. Would you share with the audience what inspires you the most?
You know,
What's your process?
I would say human interaction, believe it or not. They're like, what? I said, human interaction is a one for me in terms of it. And the reason being is the conversations that I have with my friends and colleagues, like, the conversation with that I had that salon owner about his iron just really was a big inspiration for me. So human interaction is a great resource for me in terms of inspiration. That's why I really believe, listen, my friends, the computer, it can't touch your heart. America's Beauty Show, the premier shows, going to live education. Digital education is fantastic, but when you go to shows, you're going to be touched, and it's going to trigger new ideas. The way you're going to network with people. That's that human interaction I'm talking about. The second is social media. I don't care what people say about social media. You can hate social media all you want, but that's the world at your fingertips. Research on social media, and now guess what? Look what's falling in our lap now, AI. But travel is another big one for me. It's a great way for me to get a hold of and hold on to some inspirational opportunities, things that I see. And then my family. My son is a huge, major source of inspiration right now because I find I'm teaching him a lot about life, and I'm teaching him a lot about, the other day he sits me down. He says, hey, Daddy, let's sit down. I'm going to ask the questions. And then my wife, okay, now you see, he's going to debrief you now. I really feel that my creative process is the value and the importance of education and constantly researching and practicing. So my end result, though, is when I see things, I want to simplify them. I'm not an inventor. I need people to get that. People inspire me. I see something. I say, well, how can I do that in a different way to be easy, not to be different? But that's why people say you're the hairdresser's hairdresser. You're the teacher, the teacher that focuses on the hairdresser for the hairdresser. So it's about, keeping my mind open so I'm constantly remaining receptive. I think, Lulu, you're entered competition. Sue, you probably have too, but people think being creative is being weird. You know what? Anybody can where your creativity starts to just come out. Everybody out there to understand you can be creative. My photo shoots, I will come up with the mood board, the inspiration board, but I give it to my creative directors. I gave it to Geneva Cowan, my awesome creative director. God bless Geneva. I give it to now my creative director, Teresa Romero, and put those things together. My hands, my mind thinks more teaching, but when photo shoots, I'll do them. I can do it. Yeah. There's no doubt. I can do it. But I also believe you have people and place, and you surround yourself with those people that move you from good to great. My creative process in terms of, how I think about creativity. But I want you to know that if I can do it, you can do it.
And that's so exciting because we had the other day, what's his name? George Alante?
Yeah.
As one of our episodes. And he said he went to NAHA and he was one of the finalists and said that when they announced the winner, he was not the winner. and so as he walked out, some friend was with him and she says, are you sad? And he says, no, I'm not sad that I didn't win. I'm sad with myself. What could I have done to make this better? So it all starts with you as an individual, which is so important. I think we all have to realize that it's not the accolades that you receive. Yeah, they're good, but it's, it's making you better. It's making you, just a better person.
You see, I look at that, ROI. What does ROI mean to you? Return on
investment. Return on investment.
See, but so what I tell people is you're investing your time in this competition. Let's call it, okay? Like NAHA. But what I want you to understand, it's not your return on your investment. It's about the return on impact.
Right.
How is that process going to impact you as a hairdresser? And if you do win, how's it going to impact your creativity? Like, I think that's so important that, you have to take that into consideration in regards to that. But I think, it's the personal impact and then it's the mass impact that you make. That's why teaching is, that's why I focus on that, because people, I want to impact their careers. I especially want to impact the next generation.
Exactly.
My mission for 2025 is to embrace the youth. I tell you, Lulu, I'm going to be really honest, Sue. I'm tired of people complaining about the youth. Let it go. They are who they are. They're not the same way we were when we were their age. They approached the industry the same way we did, working 12 hours a day, not taking breaks. They're different. So embrace the youth, because someday, you're going to ask me why? Because someday they're going to be running this industry. Right. So I want to teach them, if anything I want to teach them, it's the standards of this industry. I want that they can change and still be who they are. Right. Yet they will never be who we were.
Yeah.
So it's important that we understand they're going to carry the torch someday. They're going to carry the artistry that we've left behind. They're going to create the innovation into the future. So I really believe that's my duty. It's our duty. It's my privilege. It's our privilege to support them, to nurture them, and pass on the invaluable knowledge and wisdom that we've gained, that we've accumulated over the years. That's so important. So I think beauty schools, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm really scared right now. Yet we need to get these kids enrolled in beauty school. We need to get the mindset that, be a hairdresser. No, excuse me. I make really good money. As I'm sure you do also. People have this myth about hairdresser. I don't know. Well, I mean, I see lawyers out there struggling, and I'm not struggling.
Yeah,
so
right.
I think,
Exactly.
we need to just pave the way for the youth. Any obstacles or any challenges that you see they might have, help them bloom, help them flourish. This beautiful industry that we have. I believe that as an educator, I got to continue to grow. I can't stop learning and staying on top of trends and on techniques and any things in terms of that fosters my personal growth. I want to be a part of. So I really believe as a teacher, I must never cease to learn. And I also believe that as a hairdresser, we must never cease to learn. It allows me to get back. It makes personal impact. It creates continuous growth. It fosters creativity. I love the idea and the joy of witnessing growth. When someone comes up to me and says, Sam, I just need to tell you, you helped me stay in this industry. Sam, I need to tell you, you helped me make more money last year.
Yeah.
You can't pay me enough money for that comment is the things that keep me going.
Right.
Sam, I'm going to say something to you. It might sound like I'm trying to fluff your pillow, or maybe mine. So I hope you take this in the context that I mean it. But I graduated beauty school. Now, I know that I look like I'm 35, but I graduated beauty school in 1969.
Oh, wow.
I had 9 salons in a school. I spent 17 years with a major manufacturer. I did international marketing. My whole life has been hairdressers, beauty industry, whatever. And I could probably count on 2 hands, maybe 1, the number of people that I consider the total package. And one of them is my, very dear friend that I worked with for many, many years and actually was a business partner of mine for a few years, Dwight Miller. And what I mean by that is somebody who has the creativity, the artistic eye, the technical skill to execute, the ability to verbally talk it while visually showing it, to have a connection with people, and then still be able to take all of that and merge it into a corporate world to help guide the ship and keep it be true to itself. And I see that in you. And what really tweaks me on this is you're at a whole nother level from God knows where I was, in that our world has just flipped since COVID. and
Yes.
flipped with the use of technology. And you seem to have those abilities to build team, communicate, execute, have a corporate vision, share it with people at all different levels, from the CEO to the kid just out of beauty school. That, my friend, is a gift we don't see very often in the beauty industry. And sort of the cherry on the top, when I was kind of looking at your resume and looking at all this, and I was like, you're everywhere on social media. And you actually, in 2021, won the APH Icon Stylist Influencer of the Year.
Yes.
Sam, exactly what drugs do you take and what food do you eat? Because this is not normal. This is not, it's unbelievable what you're doing. Like,
Well-
how does this, what is your approach? How are you looking at technology changing? These kids are so good at it, and you really connect with them on that.
Well, I think, I've witnessed firsthand technology revolutionize this industry. I really have.
Yeah.
And when it started to happen, who was it? God, he does a podcast. Yeah, God, his name's. He goes, Sam, you were the first. You were the first with Guy Tang.
Oh,
He goes, you took social media
Yeah.
and you started doing these little hot tips and
Yeah,
you started just
yeah.
coming out doing these little things. And to this day, Jacob Kahn will tell me, he goes, you were the first, a lot of
Yeah.
people. But I saw that as a way, as another means of teaching. Once again, it was using a resource for what I'm about, which is teaching.
Yeah.
So I really saw social media start to revolutionize it, and I used it just as another tool. Listen, I'm a small company. We were not big. So marketing and advertising, we couldn't afford. So I said, guys, use social media. Let's use social media to do that. So it shaped everything. Our product development, it shaped our customer experiences. I see AI now it creates more customer individual needs. You have the opportunity to do that with AI. I mean, it's just beginning. So for those people that say, well, I'm tired of social this, so, do me a favor. There's something there for you. You just need to find out what it is.
Right.
And I think social media, technology is part of my mindset right now. I feel that I need to focus on that because it's a big part of the industry and it's a big part of the world.
Yeah, cool.
Many people have a winning mindset. You definitely have a winning mindset. You talk about AI, I use it every day. I sleep with the frickin' iPad and I'm learning, every day. And I tell my staff and my children is that, what did you learn today? And my husband does this, when I come up here and do this podcast, he says, what did you learn today? And so that's so important. But can you tell us your particular mindset?
Oh, yeah. It's all about the things that I've been talking about. My mindset is centered around growth, education, and giving back to the industry. So it's about, number one, me focusing, being a teacher and sharing that knowledge. I think that's the greatest gift that we can give one another is, share it. It makes you better. It makes you grow. It's amazing. Okay. And now I'm noticing I'm going to edit here. My battery is going down again to 8. Let me just see what's going on. Gosh, we're going to get through this. Okay. So we're talking about mindset.
Yes. Don't worry. We'll edit this.
Yeah.
Oh, I edited it.
Yeah.
I've never had this problem in my studio. I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right. Well, let me try to get the mindset in. I'll keep an eye on the battery.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. All right. Mindset. I find my mindset is focused around growth, education, and giving back to the industry. Those are important. So it's about teaching and sharing that knowledge. It's that takeaway, when somebody gets it. That's huge for me. I find right now what I'm trying to do with my mindset is I'm trying to balance my career and my personal life, especially now that my little boy's 8 years old. So I live a mindset of continuous learning, continuous trying to find, discovering creativity, that kind of thing. I focus on giving back right now, working with Beauty Changes Lives, Hair Has No Gender, a Beyond Project. So I think all of those things, if you find the right mindset, that's what my mindset today is about. But if you get the right mindset, that's what's going to lead you to success. But you got to do it with intent and purpose and stay consistent with it. So I think, as I've said it before, as hairdressers, we must never cease to learn.
Right.
And we got to support each other. And I feel that's what's going to embrace growth. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. An investment in education is an investment
worth
in
it.
your future. You bet it is. It's more, it's
yourself.
definitely worth it. And that means that just because I'm at where I am in my career, I still need to invest in my,
Right.
so I think that as hairdressers, we all share the same basic needs. We all share the same desires. I really think that the time has come where everyone in this industry, doesn't matter who you are, where you are in your level of the industry, in your career, everybody deserves to be treated with respect and dignity. I think that it's about working towards creating an industry that reflects these values. And it all goes back to me about talking about the youth. But my mindset is really focused on about that, really about growth, the education, the industry itself in terms of the youth, and the values of the industry.
Well, Sam, I'd like to go back to where we started. Our audience likes to know about the person, not just about the artist or the icon or the entrepreneur. So we have this little game that we play, and our audience loves it, And we just ask 5 questions, quick fire, little personal stuff. And we just ask you to give us an answer that's off the top of your brain. So give us a little bit more look into Sam Villa, the person. So you good to play our little quick fire?
Is it okay if I give you 1 or 2 words?
Sure.
Okay.
You can give us whatever, yeah. So, other than teaching and doing hair, what's your happy place?
You stumped me there. Okay. I was going to say my happy place is the stage, but no. Okay, hey, here we go. My happy place at the moment in my life is home, a golf course, and bass fishing. Because people don't know that about me, but I love bass fish. And living in Florida, it's a great place to be.
Wow.
Where out in Florida are you, Sam?
I'm in outside of Jacksonville, a small little town called Fleming Island.
Okay, because I'm in Naples.
Hey,
Yeah, for some reason I were thinking you were on the West Coast. Hey,
A lot of people, my company's on the West Coast. The warehouse is in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Fellow Floridian, I love it. Who's on your playlist?
That's easy. Number 1, Santana, Carlos Santana.
Wow, I'm with you. Yes, all the way.
indeed.
Love it. Do you have a favorite book that you would recommend?
Wow, a favorite book that I think was kind of, it just kind of blew my mind. It really turned me in another direction. It's called The Power of Now.
Yeah.
It was a really good book, but it's quite,
Yeah.
you got to have some muscle to read it.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite motto or quote that you like to use frequently?
Yes, it's usually the last one that I end with a podcast, which is your progression is my obsession.
That's great. I love that. And what would you like your legacy to be?
Oh gosh, that's simple. I want to be known as an educator and a teacher that actually helped people grow and become great hairdressers in every aspect of the industry. That's where I want my legacy to lie. It's not about, all of my accomplishments or anything. It's more being, people saying, if you went to a class with Sam, you walked away with something you could use in the salon.
Beautiful. Love it.
So, Sam, where can they find you?
They can find me at www.samvia.com. You can also find me I want you to follow me on IG, Sam Via Hair. I highly recommend you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Sam Via Tutorials. Everything that I do will eventually go to YouTube. So everything is
Okay.
So that's a great place to be. And then my Facebook, Sam Via, my professional site, Sam Via Professional, Pinterest, Sam Via. I mean, all of my social channels, that's where I want everybody to follow me.
Yeah.
That's where I'm pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Great.
Fabulous.
I saw your bio and I listed all those social media invites, so I'm going to definitely go to all of them. So that's a wrap for today's episode with one and the only Sam Via.
Yeah.
It was a tremendous honor to learn something from you, from someone who truly walks the walk, and you truly do.
Yeah.
Your passion for education, innovation, and uplifting others is valuable. If you love this episode, be sure to follow Sam on any of his social media and check out his incredible tools and education at samvilla.com. And remember, sharing knowledge is the greatest gift we can give one another. Let us keep creating and shouting it out together. And And stay tuned to Artists, Icons, and Entrepreneurs. Until
And
next.
I want to thank you, Lulu and Sue, for what you're doing for the industry.
Oh, thank
And
you.
we need more things like this. And I want to say, I think that schools need to have history classes. There's a lot of people that the kids that the youth need to know about, who Vidal Sassoon is, et cetera.
Yeah.
And then I've made many mistakes in my life, many mistakes.
We have, all of us.
Yeah, I've fallen down many times, and I grow from those mistakes. But I'm going to encourage people, if you fall down, stay down there. And stay down there for a bit. Don't get right back up like people say.
Yeah.
I want you to stay down there because there's other things to discover. So pick up more than the reason that you just fell down. Pick up with a lot of other things that you can grow with. And it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Sam. Love you.
Love you.
Love
See you
you
around.
both. My pleasure.
Wow, what an episode. That wraps up another exciting edition of Artists, Icons, and Entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you're leaving inspired and ready to chase your dreams. Don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode over at youtube.com/Artists, Icons, Entrepreneurs, as well as Facebook at Lulu Benavides, on IG at Lulu Benavides, at Evolve Hair Solutions as well. And don't forget to visit our website at lulubenavides.com and evolvehairsolutions.com to stay updated. Until next time, keep dreaming big, creating boldly, and making your mark on the world. Thanks for listening, and take care, everyone.